Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and today I want to talk about why the ATR is not a study level aircraft. So let's start at the very beginning. When Microsoft announced the ATR, they branded it with the term Expert Series of Aircraft. Now, there was no definition of whatever that means, but in fact, there is not even a definition of what study level means either. So we are kinda left thinking on our own here, so let's go into this a bit. Both during my live stream as well as during my later videos, a lot of people chimed in saying like, no, this is not study level, this is beginner level, etc. Now, I totally object the claim that this would be a beginner level aircraft. It is absolutely not. Indeed, when I flew my aircraft and when I spent a whole lot of time today learning how to fly the airplane under the SOPs, I used the original ATR FCOM, and the plane basically did everything it was supposed to do. So, in terms of these, it kinda is study level. You can study the normal operation procedures with it. However, it is not exactly a complete systems trainer. Now, I am going to link a video in the description below that I made myself a little while ago, where I discussed like, so what should we understand in the term study level of an aircraft? However, I need to emphasize that there is no official definition of the likes. We have seen some developers call their aircraft study level, while they have been obviously very subpar and mediocre in the systems, and we've seen other developers who haven't really gone out all that far, whose aircraft nonetheless I would call study level. Now, summarizing the discussion of what study level means, in my personal opinion it really comes down to, okay, I can read the original airplane manuals, and I can fly the plane like that, and that is the case with the ATR. However, it certainly does not provide a completely flawless systems simulation at the moment. There are quite some bugs in it, and there is also a little bit of stuff that is not simulated, so it is by no means a complete simulation at the moment. However, it is a very nice way going there. Now, why did people call it a study level aircraft in first place, which might lead to the reasoning why a couple people are upset with the ATR at the moment? Well, it all comes down to false expectations. Now, in terms of false expectations, there have been quite a bit of live streams of Asobo during the development of the ATR where they talked quite a bit about the systems, and a lot has been said about what was simulated, but there has also been a lot of stuff that was never said to be simulated. Now, as is the case with our flight simulation community, when people hear some stuff, they automatically imagine a lot of other stuff to be included as well. And that has led to the recent outrage about the Embraer 175 release, which, well, was simply raised by wrong expectations. However, there is a difference between that Embraer and between the ATR. The difference is that in case of the Embraer, the wrong expectations were primarily raised by the developer's false marketing, while in case of the ATR, it seems to me that the community has really talked itself into what the airplane should be, that at the end of the day it wasn't and never was advertised to be. And going on from these lines, here is my opinion of what the ATR currently really is. So, I'm saying this with a background of just about 10 flights in the airplane now, which is really not a lot. It is still a first impression. However, I did spend the vast majority of today learning the SOPs out of the ATR FCOM, and I've done a little bit of flying on the plane, so that is what this experience is currently based upon. Now, in my opinion, the ATR at the moment is not only a fun aircraft to fly, which it certainly is, but it also comes with a deeper system simulation than what we would expect from other Asobo aircraft. Now, this is not on the level of the PMDG 737 or the Phoenix A320, that is totally out of question. However, it is on a level where you can run most of the, well, actually all of the normal procedures, and all the stuff relating to the normal procedures is working at the moment. There are a couple of shortcomings, for example, place-bearing distance waypoints are not included, and there are some ways to mess over the FMC. So that is definitely there, but that in my opinion falls under the category of bugs and not the opinion of, let's call it, huge issues. When the PMDG 737 was first released, we saw a lot of those bugs as well, and PMDG worked through it and fixed quite a lot of them. Now, I am very positive that in the case of the ATR, that is going to be the case as well. And in fact, I can say that from personal experience, I talked a little bit with Hans today, the developer, and I explained a couple bugs, and he's already started fixing them to be put into the next update. So there is definitely some progress on that side within the ATR. Now, will it ever be a study level simulation? Well, that's really gonna come down to the personal perception of study level. If we take my definition from the What is Study Level video that I am linking below and that I've mentioned earlier in this video, then this aircraft is probably not going to be a study level simulation. However, it is still an expert series aircraft, as Microsoft calls it, and I am using Microsoft's original term of expert series over here because it does take quite a bit of learning to fly this airplane, and when you have the original ATR FCOM at hand that I can only very much recommend you to Google and get from there, then you can actually fly this one by the book, and that is worth quite a bit. So, does it deserve the title Expert Level Simulation? Well, yes, in my opinion it absolutely does. Now, the term Expert Series, as Microsoft calls it, is a new term. We haven't heard that one before in flight simulation. So, if we take the ATR and if we introduce that at the first Expert Series aircraft, then we definitely have to introduce that term below the standard study level definition. However, it is still a pretty complete simulation, and one that, at least on the first impression, is really very promising. So, I hope this kind of clears up a little bit on what the ATR is and what the ATR currently isn't. Now, earlier during the day, when I chit-chatted a little bit with Hans, he actually asked me if I could make a video where I would just about make clear once again that the ATR is not intended as a study level aircraft, okay? So please keep that in mind when you are judging the ATR. It is not intended as a study level aircraft, however it is intended as something that is in the region in terms of system complexity below the PMDGs and the Phoenix, but quite a far bit above many other simulated aircraft, and it definitely is that. I would put it somewhere in the region above the Aerosoft CRJ, which, hand on heart, is not that bad a simulation as some people like to say, but definitely below the PMDGs. Alright, I hope this clears it up. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this one, and I am very much looking forward to welcome you again on the next video. Until then, thank you for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you all again, hopefully very soon.